You will come through doorways that you didn't even know were there. See something unbelievable. But you have to believe it because it's right there in front of your eyes.
Picture, if you will, someone going through the trouble of transferring digital video to analog tape. Ridiculous? Not so much in the transitional era between VHS and DVD. Not to mention, just as it's easier to wash physical cash than digital, it's easier to hide illegal video when it's analog. Our story begins in a sleazy hotel where a trio of cock and balls are planning a good night. Booze, babes and headboard banging caught on glorious POV spy cam glasses.
These are not just any glasses, my friend.
They're dork glasses.
These are video glasses, bitch!
Of course, these aren't fresh off the Alcoban late teens. These are well into their 20s adults, and so they deserve to die. Clint, played by Drew Sawyer, will be our rambler through the savannah of nighttime meat markets. He's soft-spoken, short and plain next to his friends. The kind of guy who is so unremarkable it becomes his character. Shane and Patrick, played by Mike Donlan and Joe Sykes, are his opposites. Loud and proud, with Shane at the lead and Patrick happy to follow. They venture into the savannah on the hunt for exotic animals.
Cool, I like you too!
That's Lily, played by Hannah Fierman. Like Clint, she doesn't fit. She's shy to the point of fear, quiet and out of place in this bombastic sweat lodge. Like a child scared to leave the corner at recess. She seems so frail she might shatter if she's touched, and there is something so subtly off about her, it's nigh intimidating just to see her. Does it hint at something? Sure is. Does she follow the guys back to their hotel room? You bet. Should I be worried for her or the guy's safety? Oh, it'll be good. Not that Clint himself picks her up, or even Shane or Patrick. They have garnered success in their own adventure, separate from Clint, and found two beautiful women of their own. As they leave, two become one, but the inebriated party girl seems down for a lot of anything. It seems as if Clint is to remain alone and unfulfilled on this night, but as they make their way to the car, they notice Lily staring at them. At Clint. And again she whispers, "I like you." Lily is probably the most iconic part of the franchise. Not just as a character, but as a symbol. Every fan of VHS immediately knows her by the slightly off appearance and massive eyes. And beyond that, the character she plays is very memorable. You see, at the hotel it doesn't take long before the party flavor sours and the atmosphere grows uncomfortable. The girl from the bar passes out in Shane's arms, and much as he shakes her, she will not wake up. He tears at his hair, he waddles in frustration, he's not about to use an unconscious woman. So he turns to the shy bunny watching in the corner of the room. If you're like me, you know there is a massive difference between violently victimizing a woman and just being a douche, taking advantage of her not saying no. But remember, this is a horror movie. Hyperbole, satire and poetic justice is what we're all about, and I am perfectly fine with where this is going. Patrick moves from the couch and joins Shane around Lily. But the idea of all three of them sharing the same girl is more than Clint can handle. He runs to the bathroom to catch his breath and talk himself up, find his nerve and do this. But before he can, Patrick all but breaks the door down because he needs to care for his busted hand. Lily bit him.
Comments now, asshole!
No, just stop! No, just stop, dude. Just stop, man.
Interesting turn of events. A clear and definite no, and the guys went off the idea. Which makes them not advantage takers or victimizers, but just common, everyday men exercising their democratic right to be douchebags. Wonder if this means they're gonna live.
What's your fucking problem? I wasn't gonna.
Hell no. The diminutive pixie turns from a scared kitten into a raging beast, tearing at Shane's chest with impossible strength, spraying blood and bits of muscles across the fleeing men. And in the spirit of equality, we get a nice frame shot of Patrick's full nude when they hide in the bathroom. Of course, it's not just about equality. We're all familiar with Chekhov's gun. Whatever's included in the story has to serve a purpose. Ooh, that money shot! They made a feeble attempt at subduing the effeminate creature, but it brushes aside the steel bar as if it was paper and shreds Patrick asunder as Clint chooses life. He runs for it, panicked and careless, until he breaks his ankle stumbling down the hotel staircase, and pray to God the thing did not follow. All for naught. Excuse me. Impotent in the face of the ravenous murderer, Lily is unable to coax life from his manhood. Distraught, she realizes, "You don't like me." And as her heartbroken sobs turn into furious growls, Clint summons the strength to run, to call for help, to beg every passerby to listen, before claws dig into his shoulders and the ground vanish beneath him, with the sound of gaunt wings carrying him off into the night. If only he had the sociopathic tendency to not care about his fellow human beings and harden into the gorgeous beast's embrace. Will a movie ever represent me? Amateur Night is a fantastic short film and well worth seeking out the VHS movies on its own. In 2016 it was adapted to a feature-length movie all its own, and it's not hard to see why. The story is very simple. Dudes go to a bar to meet women, only to meet a veiled monster that tears them asunder. What makes it stand out from similar movies is very subtle but interesting to discuss. For one, it's not a revenge thriller. Lily is most definitely a predator hunting for prey, which in of itself is a trope reversal, with men usually being predatory and earning their fate. The plot also slips into the background, working more as a skeleton than the meat of the story. Seeing Clint so different from the more outgoing Shane and Patrick makes the prospect of him keeping up with them seem like a conflict. Coming across Lily, he seems to rise to it, and the awkward turn of events at the room makes him question whether to go on. Finally, the third act twist where it all comes to bear and he is the only one left alive, only to falter and die along with his friends. This, I think, is excellent storytelling when using found footage, because the turn of events come across as a more realistic, especially combined with the stellar acting from everyone involved. About the cinematography and special effects, holy crap are they stellar. Most POV movies use a normal high-def camera carried by a trained operator, and it's usually not very well hidden. This movie actually used a POV camera. Every movement and every pixelation are on point for what they ought to be, with the more complicated sequences like Lily subduing Patrick are made with a high-def camera, adding CGI and then downgrading the footage until it looks near enough identical to a POV camera. It's not impossible to notice these things, but they're far better hidden than they have any right to be, which I suppose is the strength for a short film. Compressing the runtime makes it easier to put in the effort for the effects to actually look good. Amateur Night is a stellar short film from a director I'd love to see more of and hope to see in the future, and well worth seeking out the VHS movies to experience. Much as I tried, this review doesn't do it justice. Thank you one and all for sticking with me this long. Happy Halloween.